What's up, y'all? As usual, we're going to be covering a whole lot on this video, so make sure you're taking notes. This is going to be a doozy of a week. Last week was kind of beast mode with the news and stuff, so a lot of volatility because you had the jobless report come out and then you had NFP. Now, let me explain this before we get into the news and all the different things that we have to cover in this video. And by the way, thank you for tuning in. But here's the point. Normally, NFP, you get a little jerking around, and then after that, the market settles out. But as we're going to see when we do our market charts review from last week and look for potential situations for the up and coming week, you're going to see the market went way beyond normal. I mean, it was just nuts. It was crazy. The U.S. Dow, the S&P 500, all those things dropped, and then later on they shot back up. But the biggest ones was the dollar shot up well beyond. I mean, it was just ridiculous. The dollar shot up, the euro dropped, the euro USD, the pound USD, AUD. We'll get to all that. But why was it so much different? You're going to see why when I cover this news events for this up and coming week. Because I was like, wait a minute, something's off. Because normally it drops, maybe 50 pips, whatever. It does a little thing. No, this thing went donkers. But now looking at the news coming up this week, it now makes sense as to why it did a overreaction to what happened on NFP report. Normally NFP report it makes moves, but it don't make moves like that. So as we look at these news events from last week, and then I'm going to connect the dots to what's happening this week, therefore now the whole picture makes sense to me as to why things went way out of balance. So let's go ahead and cover all of this important stuff. All right. So first of all, let me just say this. We did do well last week. We did, I think 208 pips for the copycat group, which is in the thumbnail. Of course, Dr. Elvis sent out 5 trades, lost 1 trade, won 5 trades, and then Ms. Jenny, who trades live with you guys in the Signals group, which comes with Dr. Elvis's Signals, by the way. But in that live group, I think they captured all of those pips that happened on the indices, which would include, what's included in indices is the US 30, the NAS, and the S&P 500. I don't know which one of those they did, but they do trade it live. So she calls out the trades live. So what happened was they caught 12,946 pips last week alone. So if for no other reason, I suggest if you want to trade live with them twice a week and capture those pips, which are being called out live, then join the Signal service. If you just want to be copying on our trades, you can do that as well. And you can start with one person or all 3 of us. It's up to you on the copier, okay? So that's out the way. Now, let's get into the news that's coming up, and then I'm going to get into the chart breakdown. So let me pull this news up on here so y'all can see exactly what I'm looking at this coming week, okay? Do you see this? So now here is why it makes sense. So normally, like I told you guys, normally the news doesn't make that big of a deal. NFP, you get a little jerking around and that's that. But it was lining up with this. That's why they had I think they had 3 job reports last week, which is not normal. 3 U.S. job reports, ADP, and then you had joke jobs, and then you had NFP, all 3 last week. And they were doing a setup because they knew this was coming. In one day on Wednesday, which, by the way, if you're new to trading, do not trade on Wednesday. I'm going to repeat. Do not. Hold on. Let me make sure you see in my face. Do not, under any circumstances, trade on Wednesday if you're new. Okay? Stay away from it because this is going to rock these markets like nobody's business. So now they crammed not only the U.S. inflation report that's coming out that morning, but then at 2 o'clock, they're coming out with Fed interest rates. This is going to be a boozy doozy. So what happens is with the job numbers tend to tell the Feds how strong the market is doing. And that gives them information on whether they should raise interest rates or lower interest rates. So since the job market seems to be hot right now, and notice that it's hot right now during when? Election season. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, everything's on fire right now because it's election season, which are all these presidents, they all do the same thing. So I'm not for or against Democrats or Republicans. I'm not into that stuff, but I'm simply saying because the election is several months away, the presidents always clean up their act. They just approved the some border act to close up the borders and all these different things right before election time. They want to clean up so they can keep their jobs. Told you guys, y'all ain't nothing but a person to keep them employed. So that's why I'm not into politics, but that's a different story. So let's go over the news. Then we're going straight into the charts. So the pound is coming out with unemployment numbers. This just may be a blip. You know what I mean? And it's only going to impact the pound. So if you're trading other pairs, don't worry about it. The pound is also coming out on Wednesday with their trade balance. Now, again, if you are trading the pound, the GBP, the Great British Pound, if you are trading the pound, then be aware that these may cause a little spiking in those pairs. But outside of that, nothing to worry about. Okay, temporary little spikes, and then they keep on moving. But this is going to shake the markets up. So I do expect the markets to just act sporadic all during the week that's leading up to this. Okay, this is going to be the climax, the bang, okay, of the week. Once this is over, I still expect the markets to just go wild and crazy, depending on what they say. But you got their inflation and the Fed. Oh, that's going to be a doozy. Boy, that's going to be bad. And then you have the USD coming out with PPI numbers, which after this much data, this is going to be nothing but a little after effect, okay, aftershock. But this is going to be the earthquake. So if you want to save money on your portfolio, just if you are going to trade it, just use a smaller lot size. But I'm just telling you, if you're new, don't trade it at all. Just monitor and watch what happens, okay? Then you have the JPY, which is a great pair that I like to trade a lot. Because it's very smooth with the ocean wave system, which I've showed you guys many times with the past reviews. When you're trend trading, this is an excellent pair to trade the trend with. So interest rate news is coming out on Thursday for the JPY. Now, there has been some abnormal price action where I think that the Japanese government is stepping in to stop the downfall of their currency. So they may actually do something this time with their interest rates. So this is going to be interesting to see. So just be careful if you're trading the JPY. Outside of that, I didn't see a whole lot of important news that we need to discuss. So let's go right into the charts and get started. Okay. Okay, you guys know I like to work my way backwards. So since the week, I tend to use the sexy analyst with the simplicity system and the Actors midweek reversal system. You can trade trends. We have trend strategies with it, but I primarily use it for reversals. So anyway, here's the point. I did eat very well off of this pair right here. This is one of my favorite pairs, especially on the ocean wave system. So once this thing starts tracking down, and I like to trade off the 30-minute, once this thing starts tracking down, it goes for quite some time. So it runs pretty smooth. This is one of those, for those who attended my class, you can clearly see that when it's on a roll, it stays in that roll. Even with news events, it bounces, news events bounce, but then it absorbs things very well without breaking the trend, which is what I like. Once it's turned blue, it goes into neutral territory, which means change of direction. And surely enough, look at this. Now on the downfall, you can see that it stayed in rhythm extremely well. Okay, so right now, here's what I'm looking at. Woo to the loo, baby. So this thing has set a bottom right here. So it may pull back, which is cool. I hope it does, because if it does, I'm looking to ride this off of the ocean wave. And once this kind of give me that half and half signal, I think we're ready to go. But either way it goes, this is one of those pairs that you can see it does spike. Okay, so it can happen. And let's see how big that is. That was about 35 pips. That was because of what? News. Okay. Good news is that, as you can see, when it does spike, it spikes. But guess what? The good news is that it get right back in rhythm again. So it doesn't stop it from what it was doing. So for an example, when it was on the downtrend, you can see it spiked, but bounced right back into rhythm, spiked, bounce in the rhythm, spike, bounce in the rhythm, go up, come back down. But either way it goes, it stayed within rhythm. Okay. And once it crosses over, look at this. Had news spiked real hard because of NFP news, tore the market up. That's why I said this Wednesday, beast mode. Don't trade. Hold off. But if you are in the trade, okay, look at this. It went all the way down, so use a comfortable stop loss, and then it came right back up in the rhythm and kept on going. Where was it heading? Upwards. And you see it just got right back in the rhythm after the noise was over. This is why I like that pair, okay? Now, let's get on to the AUD CAD. Let's leave with Caddy. Caddy Daddy. Ooh, look at Caddy Daddy, okay? From the 4 hour. I told you guys this was ridiculous. Everything got shook up because of that NFP news, and it wasn't because of the job reports. It was because of the implications of what it may do this week with the Feds making a decision. That's why it actually did something completely out of the norm, and it shocked all of us who trade. A lot of people think trading is easy. It's not easy, not because trading, anybody can come on here and click a couple of buttons. That's the easy part. But the hard part is the tenacity to keep on going, even in the face of, taking hits on your portfolio. And when you look at it, and this is why I started doing it, because when you look at it at the end of the day, you realize, oh, okay, you know what? This thing went out of the normal, not because this was a normal price action, but because there was something else going on. Okay, so all my price action people, this is what I've been telling you. Oh, price action is king. Okay, explain this. See what I'm saying? You had a nice stop loss and it just blew right through there. So you start losing like that. Okay, the only comfort you're going to get is to find out what actually happened. So that's why I like news events now, fundamentals, so I can understand, okay, even if I took a loss, was there a mistake I made on my part, or was there just a circumstance in the markets? And you're going to see the difficulty of trading. It's not checking for technical analysis, looking for patterns, looking for this, that anybody can do that. That's very easy. That's simple. Simple enough your kids can do it, like our slogan. The part is that makes it tough is the schizophrenic movement that throws everything off, because when the market gets into a fear-based mode, it starts doing wild moves like this. And you're going to see a lot of these that happened last week, but I do believe that there's going to be early recovery to pull back up. As you can see, this is created kind of like a double bottom, so I would look forward to that. You see what I'm saying? Create them little wicks, and I think it's going to bounce right back up into some profit. That's what I believe is going to happen. So normally I would go straight to Ocean Wave for Sunday going into Monday, but because of the drastic movement that happened last week, myself, I am holding some short-term position, some long positions on a couple of these, hoping that they'll calm down. Everybody calm down, relax, and let's get on back up into rhythm and collect some pips off of this bounce off of these support lines off the 4 hours. So realistically, in this video, I'm not going to really go to the Ocean Wave. I'm more concerned that it may go down further, but such big moves that are so big, typically they want to get back in balance because they are out of balance. They are all out of balance. So this is where the bottom was, where, like on this one, I am in this one. But, here's where the triple bottom was, but it went a little bit further. So, yeah, I'm in a little bit drawdown, but not much. I think of like 15 pips or so. Yeah, 17 pips. So it's not big. So I'm assuming that once the market reopens, it's going to calm down, come back in rhythm, and then hopefully pull back up to, one of these levels right here, either here. But immediately this will be the targeted level, okay, right here, okay. So it'll get back into balance. This is what I'm expecting. If it gets back my little 17 pip drawdown and then come here, okay, that'll give us, they give me 36 pips or whatever, or 17 pips or 20 pips, whatever I can get. I'll take whatever I can get on this because, again, I'm not looking to hold this long term going into the Wednesday announcement because there's going to be more news coming out on the dollar, and I don't want to be holding any of that, okay? So I got in a little bit early because my timing was off. I was in a rush heading out. So I got in a little bit too early on this one. And it went a little bit further. But, that's the challenge of trying to catch falling knives. That's what they call it, falling knives. So I thought it was going to stop here at the triple bottom and find support. And it went down a little bit further. But I'm hoping for it to pull back up and get us back into positive territory. All right. So that's my expectations on that one. Let's go with this one. Same thing. Look at this rainbow. I love this curvature. I love when it does that because what happens afterwards, like it did here, see that curvature? It drops hard and then shoots back up at least to the half point of this drop. So it did the same thing again. Curvature and pop up. Look at this. Curvature, pop up. Curvature, pop up. Curvature, calm down, pop up. So realistically, guys, I know typically I go ocean wave and I say, okay, guys, let's look at trend trading at the beginning of the week, but I really don't think that it's going to be that impactful because this is a big imbalance and they have to correct it. So I'm more leaning towards the fact that it will possibly do more pullbacks than it will trend trades. Now, I could be wrong, so always check your charts like normal, but that's my thought. So again, I'm not going to cover a whole lot of ocean wave this week because of that. All right. Now, for those, take a look at the ones that are really did not get too impacted by it. They got hit, but not much. Okay. And that's the JPY pairs. They got hit, but not much. Okay. Keep that in your radar because that's very important when you're trading. Which ones have the least impact of news? And I'm working on something for you guys. And once I get it concrete, then I'll make an announcement and I'll show you what I mean and I'll elaborate further on that. Okay, let's go to the Swiss JPY. Swiss JPY is still hanging up in this area right here. I don't know what to expect on this, but currently I do believe that it has found a level of support. So in the early beginning of the week, this one may now go back up. Okay, you do have the JPY coming out with interest rate news on Thursday. So let's take a look at this one. All right. And that is where it is on the 15. You can see it's been in a steady trend going on the 30 with ocean wave. And you can see this thing went on a monster tear move all the way back here to where it is now. That's on 293 pips with the ocean wave. That's why I said the JPY and the CHF. Remember, I told you guys this in class. Those are the ones you want to trade ocean wave. They tend to stick with the trend. Okay. And if that's the case, get the ocean wave so you can ride those trends with those pairs. AUD, NZD, it's the same thing. We talked about that on Wednesday's class. And if you want more, just come to this Wednesday's class and we can talk about it a little bit more. All right. Now, so that one, I don't know. I wouldn't tamper with it because I see it clustering in this area, but that would be what I'm looking at from the 4 hour. So either way it goes, I think that this thing will probably come down, but who knows because of the early week, I think it may come back up and retest an area. So just be careful, okay? I could be wrong. All right, so here's one. We have this one. This is CAD Swiss. Again, now this, since it's a Swiss pair, CHF, I will go to the ocean wave. Why? Because the ocean wave calls the CHF the best. As you can see, very big, nice, smooth moves, okay? And so it does best on ocean wave. Okay, because it's a trend trading pair. So if it's a trend trading pair, follow the trend. The trend is your friend with CHF, Swiss, and JPY. All right. So with this one, I don't know. I don't like it over here. And I do see that it's creating that little bottom. So right here, this is a very stable bottom. So if it holds at this level, then yeah, that'd be great for a buy. Okay. But if it breaks through that level, as you can see right here, I will hold off because I've seen this way too many times, way too many to count, which is why I call it the CHF, the sneaky pair. It'll give you the same look, bottom 1, bottom 2, bottom 3, bottom 4, bottom 5. This would be bottom 6. And you'll think, oh, okay, so that's going to hold. And then all of a sudden it just, boom, drops through the bottom. Why? Because at the beginning of the week, that's what it does. It follows the trend. So if that's the case, which one of these two I would believe? I would always look at this. What do you see? I'm going to go with ocean wave, calling this still to drop through the bottom. And what I think is this is a fake support level. And a lot of people are going to believe this is a support level. And I think it's going to go right through there and drop some more. That's what I think. I've seen that way too many times. That's why I say it. When it comes to the CHF, for the most part, until I see a solid turnaround, I'm trading the trend, baby. Trend. Trend is my friend. All right. JPY. This one, I don't trust it. I ain't got nothing to say on it. I don't like it at all. All right. So here we go. This one shot like a bottle rocket up to the upside. So again, this is what I mean, that I think a lot of these have overreacted. And as you can see, this is still in the downtrend. So this may get some slowdown. And then after a little bit more push to the upside, I think it may come back down and retest the bottom. All right. So now this is again, see how that dollar, I told you it was wild. Who could have ever anticipated this? Look, from here to here. And those who had the ocean wave, congrats, you saw it. That was 99 pip drop in a day. 99 pips in a day. That's wild. Why? Because of the news coming up this week. It was not normal. That is not normal at all. It should normally have stopped right about here. Right there. That's about normal on the NFP report. It's not that big of a deal like it used to be. But this week, it makes sense. Okay? So I do think that this thing could push down all the way down to here. Okay? If it doesn't find support where it's at, then that means it's possibly going to come down here, which means it got another 15 pips or so, 13 to 15 pips or so to go. And once that happens, it'll probably find some footing and then go from there. But as you can see, it is on the 4-hour support line. So we'll see how that plays out. Wait for the arrow on the 15-minute. That's all I can tell you. Wait for the arrow on the 15-minute for confirmation. But I think this thing may drop through a little bit more just to collect a little bit more people's money who are too much in a hurry to think, oh, reversal. I think it may collect a little bit more. Liquidity runs is what they call it. Okay, they see where you're entered, they see where your stop is, and they're going to try to take out your stop. And therefore, stop hunters are going to come in, and then after that, it may do a little pullback. So just be patient. All right, let's go to the euro. I don't like it. This one, okay, now this is one. See, this is what I was saying. Just like the Swiss pairs. All right, so here's another one that I was telling you about. See, this would be a strong support line right about here. See that? Right about there. So you think, okay, price is going to stop right there? Nope. What did it do? It broke through. Okay. Liquidity runs. You see that? That's what I mean. Okay. You find support. You think it's stopping here, and then boom, it crashes right on through, taking out stops. So I think the Cat Swiss may do the same thing. So again, just be careful, you guys. Let's look at this one on the ocean wave, because again, I told you guys this is another one that you want to trade the ocean wave with. Now, it runs better on the 1 hour, as you can clearly see. The other time frames are too noisy. Okay, so if you're going to trade this, and trade it on the 1 hour and just follow it and let it do what it do. Okay, look at how smooth that is on the 1 hour. You'd be collecting pips all day long. See how smooth it runs? Okay, it absorbs all that noise and keep on moving. Okay, so if you are going to trade this one, I suggest, do what I'm suggesting. For an example, let's just look at this run right here. How many pips you could have made on this one? From here down to here was 61 pip run. Okay, one trade down to the downside. But let's keep going. Alrighty then. Let's go to ECAD. All right, EuroCAD. All right, EuroCAD, it did triple boom, 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 and then it dropped. Let's check it on the daily. This is another thing I'm looking to do more often, is check that daily time frame, because if you see strong resistance or strong support on the daily as well, I'm using the sexy analyst, trust it. Okay, that's why I'm trust it. Okay, just trust it. All right. But anyway, I don't see much on there. This is another Swiss pair. Okay, what did I tell you guys again about the Swiss? What did I tell you about the Swiss? Yeah, oh, see that triple bottom, Uncle P? Yeah, I see that triple bottom. Sucker move. Look at this. What is this telling you? Is it the triple bottom where it's going to stop? Or what would you do with this trade? Flat bottom? I told you guys. Famous move with that. So that would be the stronghold. So you can even put a pending order so that if this thing breaks through, catch me on the downside, baby. Catch me on the down. So I'm going to always trust the ocean wave when it comes to the CHF pairs. Okay. Ocean wave. Trust it first. Okay. So that would be a great way to put in a pending order right here. And for those who don't know what a pending order is, it's a limit order that says if under these conditions, if price breaks below here, and we can use even this number for the average daily range of, and it hits 96600, or something like that, whatever you decide. If it breaks through there, then tap me in on this trade for 15, 20 pips, or I can just follow it, with a trailing stop or whatever. But either way it goes, out of these two systems, which one would I trust the most? I will always trust the ocean wave when it comes to the CHF. Okay? Ocean wave. I do not trust reversal setups. Okay? Very rare that they actually comply. They take out a lot of people 3 or 4 times, and then you get your reversal. All right, so let's get down to business with this one. This one here, it had some good pips. We collected a few pips for those who had it. It collected a few pips. Why? Because, you know, you go to the downside right there. So basically, when it was capped up, you see it's making lower highs. So every time it drops and come back, make a lower high, you can get it. Came back, little drop, came up, little drop, came up, little drop right here. So, yeah, keep it moving. All right, here. So now we have GCAD. GCAD is coming up to the top. And this is what I was saying, you guys. Take a look at this on the daily. See how it respects the daily a lot better. So I think it's just going to retest this top a bit, may even poke up a little bit. But the problem is, you guys, I don't trust any of these things because of Wednesday coming up with the big news of the Fed interest rates and inflation numbers. So I don't know, guys. But if this thing doesn't move and break through that top, then I would definitely set up for a sale trade on that. After Wednesday, though, I really don't trust Wednesday. Wednesday got me shaking in my boots, to be honest. Here's another pair that overreacted. As you can see, give me 1 second. Right here. I didn't do that on a 15-minute. It's tripping. Oh, that was a drop. That's why. It's showing that drop happened. All right, and the arrow came in and gave it that drop. So, yeah, it hit that top, and then it dropped for about 60-something pips. That's why it's showing that. All right, so there we go. Ooh, okay. So overreaction, but I think it's probably going to pull back up and retest. So that might be a good one to go ahead and collect a few pips, but just over the knee-jerk reaction. Okay, but it's nothing solid. Now this one I like. This one ain't got no business being up there. So I think it's going to push up, retest, wait for the arrow on it, and then this is one of those that I was telling you about. Where look at how see this is what I was telling y'all. Trust that daily time frame a lot. See how it hit that daily? It sat there on the daily. See? When it hits these daily outer perimeters on these trend lines on the daily, if you got the sexy analyst, trust it. Okay? Look at that big move, that big bounce up off of that trend line off the daily. And this is what it looks like on the 4 hour. But now what happened is because it created imbalance, let's go back and look at this. Okay? Every time it creates this huge imbalance, it pulls back hard. Huge imbalance, pulls back hard. So you have its slow migration. This is normal, okay? But we're talking about when you blast off like a rocket or a bat out of hell, yeah, at that point, at some point, it's going to have to calm back down. So I'm looking forward to playing this one, the GN, to the downside to give me some pips when it regulates itself and says, okay, you know what, I'm going to calm down. Why? Because overall, this is still a downtrend, okay? Now, overall, it's still a downtrend on 4 hour. GU, let's take a look. GU, overreaction, so I'm still expecting this one to do the same. This is, again, what I saw. You guys right here, you can see right here that it was creating a solid support, but it was constantly stop hunting, which it constantly did here, 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 and here. So it's frequently going outside of the lines of the trend, and then it pops right back in. So I think this may push down a little bit more and then pop right back into the trend. So wait for an arrow. If you have my simplicity system with the sexy analyst, make sure to just wait for the arrow on the 15-minute for confirmation for a buy trade. But I do believe that's going to go up for a buy. G-Swiss. Okay, now this is a different story. I like this one, and I like the setup. It created my W pattern on the daily. On the 4 hour. I go to the daily, and it was sitting on a strong support level. Okay. See that strong support? Okay. So this one, I do believe possibly will go up some more. Okay. I do believe that this one will. Now, I could be wrong, but the G-Swiss, see, here's a bottom. Then you got your W pattern, and then you've got your I call it the spongy bob square head. See right here? See that? And when I see that pattern, that's typically always a sideways pattern for a breakout. Breakout where? To continue in the same direction as the original trend. What was the original trend now? The original trend now is to the upside. So since you're creating this sideways pattern, this little channel, and who knows how long you'll stay in this channel, or may pull back a little bit, but either way it goes, this one I believe is ready for it to go to the upside. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the 15-minute, as you can see, and it crossed over. The candles are in the neutral zone. So that could be meaning change of direction. On the 5-minute, look at there, already. What they say? Already. And then retest it. So I believe hopefully it'll pop back up. So this is one that I think that it will be going to the upside. Okay. Could be wrong, but that's that. All right. Again, we have another one that dropped way too hard. Wait for the arrow for recoup. Here's the NZD dollar. See how it broke right through support. But I think it's going to calm down and then it's going to come back up and you'll be able to collect some pips. So all of these, I do believe they may go a little bit further, but after they go a little bit further, get ready for some nice recovery pips. But again, get what you can and then get out before Wednesday. Okay. Like that movie, Get Out before Wednesday. Just get what you can and get out before Wednesday. See how I draw that line of support right across from the 4-hour? And my lines don't have to be perfect. Some of you guys, you want perfect lines. If you want perfect lines, here's what I suggest you do. Instead of using lines, use zones, okay? And then you can kind of encompass all of it, all right? And there you go. So for those who want to see that, there you go. That's better. So now I kind of captured going all the way back here, all of these collection plates. Boom, 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 boom. And then when it came in here, look what it did. Oh, jeez. Well, let me put my line back. All right, y'all want to deal with the line, fine. Okay, now let's go back. Look at there. Broke right through the line a little bit, and then I think it'll come right back in. I like the zone better because what it does, let me do it like this. Get in the zone. What's the zone? Auto zone. I'll do it like that. Okay, now we have our little filtered area, a little zone. Okay. All right, there we go. See the tops. So, All right, so now we got a little zone. Let's drop into it. And you can see, now you can see the little zone, okay? The little zone right there. So it's in this zone. It could come down and retest, but I do believe once that's over, we go into the upside, baby. Get some upward momentum pips. Some momentum pips. In Swiss, okay? This is what I meant. See how it breaks through. But overreaction, I don't see anything on that. Check the ocean wave. All right, we got NJ. NJ, huge move to the downside. I am strongly believing this is going to also do a recovery move. Here's what got me that I didn't understand because I was in one of these positions on the NZD, and I was like, why is this thing constantly going? But now when I look at it, look at each one of these NZD pairs. All of them failed very, very hard. Every single one. So that means there was nothing wrong with my analysis. It was just that all of these did an overreaction. And so therefore they'll do an overreaction to recover right back up and I'll get my pips that way because I'm still holding a position on that. Alrighty then. Here's the USD Swiss. Now here's what's interesting. Watch this, you guys. I'm going to mark this up. Okay. See that breakout pattern right there? Huge move. Huge move. Okay. You see that? See that bottom creates the double bottom with a W pattern, and then you have your breakout. Isn't that the same thing that it looks like over here? Okay. Now let me move these lines. And this is what I was referring to. Okay. Here we go. What do you see right here? Same exact pattern. And then you had your breakout. Now we got a consolidation. And so since you want to consolidate, that's always a strong indication. See that with support now? See, when it consolidated last time, it went in further. Okay, so this consolidation means that you're within this range. So I'm expecting this thing to go up just like this baby did. Okay, same exact thing, created the W pattern, broke out, and news took it on to the upside. So this one I like even better because it's not motivated by a big kahuna of a news event. It's just going to slow roll itself onto the upside, and then you can see confirmation where it's starting to come in on the trend on the ocean wave system. And once that happens, I'm going to hold this and let it roll to the moon. So I do have a stop loss already set on mine because I got in way earlier. But if you see consolidation and you like to set up, do your thing. Okay. All right, let's keep it moving. So that was the NZD pair, CHF, JPY. Let's go to the 4-hour right here. And I'm running out of time. I got to get this done. So news reaction. So I don't see anything that I see news, trade worthy. unless you're going for a pullback on it. I think it'll push back up, retest, and then give you a pullback, okay? Now, here's the one I'm keeping my eye on. It's this one. See, you ain't got no freaking business being up this high other than you got overly stimulated because of news, okay? So if I make this bigger, okay? And I've seen this one really well from the mobile version, but you can see resistance level, resistance. So came up a little bit and then came back and huge drop, resistance, drop. So anytime it comes up to this area, it tends to, come back and drop pretty hard, at least to the half point. As you can see here, here, see, and then just drops. So this is one that I got my eye on really, really strongly. I'm excited about this one right here. And I think if you were in the copycat group, you probably are a part of this one. So you still have time. If you're not in the copycat group, you want to get in because this is one of our plays. And so I do believe this one is going to bring some nice little pipperoos. It may go up a little bit further and retest a little bit more, but who cares? Because once it comes back down, it's going to come back down. All right. Let's go into the indices. All right. So a lot of you guys like to trade the indices. I'm not actually going to cover the indices. You need to go and join the signals group and trade that live. But again, they did 12,946 pips just last week alone. And you know that in the last year and a half, Miss Jenny's live group has live traded over 1 million pips. Okay. So again, if for no other reason, just join the signals group and join her classes. They're twice a week live. And so she's calling out trades during class. So you can be right there in attendance and collect those pips. Okay. What else are we covering? Gold. Let's take a look. Gold overreaction to the downside as well. Oh my God. So the dollar, when the dollar goes up, it's like everything else is no good. We don't need you no more. So for everybody who was, buying gold, I think is this an excellent area that is going to recover out of this range right here, as you can see. So I would look for a bounce to the upside, okay, because it's an overreaction on that dollar. But again, remember, when the dollar goes up, everything else is coming back down. When the dollar goes down, everything goes up. That's the way it plays out. And that is why this week Fed announcement is so critical. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm tired. So I'm going to stop right here. I didn't cover way more than enough. If you want more, just talk to me on Wednesday's class. And during class, we'll be able to watch the news reaction from the inflation report, and then we can discuss more about the Fed interest rate that afternoon. So I'll see you in class on Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? And again, our links is on our website for our copycat service, for our signal service, and all that good stuff. If you want to buy the Ocean Wave system, it's on our website. If you want the Sexy Analyst and the Simplicity System combo, all of this stuff is all on our website. Go to superezforex.com. superezforex.com. If you do have questions, you can send us an email to superezforex@gmail.com. superezforex@gmail.com. All right, you guys, have a great Sunday, and I will talk to you later.